Thank you so much. Whoa! Good workout. I just want to say, Armand, that you're not my friend anymore because I can't take my shirt off and look like that. You know, I might be able to pump it up just a little bit, but I'll keep the shirt on for right now. All right, so how many of you guys got to that entire workout? If you need to get to that workout, throw it up in the chat. Say I lasted halfway through, I lasted a quarter way through. That was a serious hardcore workout right there. Well, we'd like to thank you guys at this time for still being with us, still being on with us as we celebrate this exercise, health, and wellness education program. Let's give it up for Ms. Lazet, who made all this happen for us. She worked really hard to put this thing together for you guys, to educate you, to motivate you, and we just thank her for that. So our next presenter, Dr. M. Roy Wilson, became the 12th president of Wayne State University on August 1st, 2013. Prior to joining Wayne State, Dr. Wilson served as Deputy Director for Strategic Scientific Planning and Program Coordination at the National Institute on Minority Health and Health Disparities of the National Institutes of Health. So let's give a warm welcome to our next presenter, Dr. M. Roy Wilson. Welcome to the Exercise Health and Wellness Education Program.
Oh, I'm so sorry that I couldn't be with you today. I had a conflict and had to be in Ann Arbor today. But I did want to participate at least by video because I think that what Lazet Pelzer is doing with this Exercise Health and Wellness Symposium is really great. I just want to tell you that, I've been involved with trying to have a healthy lifestyle now for basically my entire life. And it's really not that hard. I mean, there are a couple of basic things to think about. First of all, it's exercise. If you belong to a gym, that's great. Go and use your gym membership and make use of that. But you don't have to necessarily belong to a gym. Over this past year and a half, most of the gyms have been closed. The Mort Harris Fitness Center, where I usually work out, has just been open intermittently. But I've done a lot of walking. I've done a lot more cycling. There are just other things that can be done. The important thing is that you stay physically active. You stay active at least a half hour a day. If you can do more, do more. So physical activity, I think, is very important. And if you do it all the time, like I do, it just becomes a part of your daily living. And when I don't exercise, I don't feel as good. And when I exercise, not only do I feel better, but I think I make better decisions. And there actually has been some research that shows that exercise helps with decision making. So that is one thing to think about. Diet obviously is another important variable. People oftentimes do these yo-yo diets. They get really motivated and go on a very strict diet. Strict diets are very hard to maintain. So you don't have to try to go overboard on what you eat. Just do certain things in moderation, which actually is not that difficult. For example, it might be hard to cut out all foods with sugar and salt or saturated fat, but you can certainly cut out some, particularly the sugar part. If you drink coffee, start cutting back on the amount of sugar you put in your coffee. Avoid processed foods. That one is a little difficult because so many foods are processed, but there are a lot of little things that could be done. For example, I typically don't eat anything that's white. I don't eat white bread. I don't eat white rice. I substitute brown rice, for example, and I substitute multi-grain bread. I'm still having bread, and in fact, I think multi-grain bread tastes better than white bread. But it's also a little bit healthier. Incorporate as much vegetables as you can. I'm not a big fruit and vegetable eater, but I do try to incorporate as much vegetables as I can. I personally don't eat red meat, but that is just something that has happened not for any religious reasons or anything else. It just, the story behind it, I'll just tell you, is that in, I guess it was 1985 to 86, I lived on the island of St. Lucia. I was in charge of eye care services on the island, St. Lucia in the Caribbean. And now it's a big tourist destination, but it wasn't back then. And I couldn't get access to good meats. And so I had someone who, a local person who cleaned for me and cooked for me. And she would go to the market every day and have fresh fish from the market every day. And so for a year, I didn't have access to red meat. I did have some chicken, but mainly it was fish. And a lot of the patients, they were fishermen, and they gave me fish rather than payment. So I had a lot of fish that year. When I finished and came to the States, back to the States, of course, first thing I did was go get a nice big fat steak, and my stomach just didn't feel right. I couldn't process it, and so I couldn't finish the steak. Didn't think much about it, and then I tried again a few times, actually, maybe 3 or 4 times, and each time I realized that since I hadn't had it for such a long time, that I was actually having trouble digesting this. So I finally said, why am I making such an effort to try to eat steak again when obviously my body is telling me that it's rejecting it. And so I just stopped. So I haven't had really red meat since 1987 maybe, and I've been just fine. So you don't have to necessarily go to the level that I did. I just didn't have access to it. But I will tell you that limiting the amount of red meat you eat would be good for you. I incorporate more fish. Chicken is better than red meat, and you can incorporate more chicken. But the main thing is fish and vegetables. And then the other thing is that you don't have to necessarily give up alcohol. I drink. I love wine, and so I have a couple of glasses of wine almost every day. But I drink in moderation, and in fact, a couple glasses of wine is probably healthy. And so I tell you a story. A while back, I went for a physical, and this was maybe 20 years ago. So I went for a physical, and I asked my doctor, is there anything else I could be doing that I'm not doing? He said, well, you can incorporate a little bit more red wine into your diet. So I took that to heart, and so I drink red wine. So you don't have to give up alcohol. So again, it's just a matter of moderation. Make sure you get your physical every year, and not only that, but know your numbers. Yeah, you can just go to the local drugstore and get a portable blood pressure monitor and take it periodically. They're pretty accurate. I take mine every morning, and there's been times when I have noted that my blood pressure is high, and I've been able to catch it and been able to intervene in some way. And so that's pretty easy to do. Weight, keep track of your weight. Obesity is a major risk factor for a lot of things, and so you want to keep track of your weight. I have a scale in my bathroom, and I get on it when I see that I'm fluctuating to a level that I don't like to see. I again intervene in some way. Maybe I burn a little bit more calories, or eat a little bit less, or something. But keep track. These are just very important healthy habits to keep at any time of life, but I think it's particularly important in the midst of the pandemic. again, just thinking about the pandemic, just remember that those with chronic diseases like hypertension and diabetes, or as I mentioned, obesity, were at greater risk for having a bad outcome from COVID-19, even in terms of dying. And additionally, blacks continue to suffer disproportionately from COVID-19. There was one of the things that I was so pleased about was the fact that the disparity in the COVID-19, both morbidity and mortality, had been completely eradicated during the summer. You might remember that probably in March or so, the blacks were really having a disproportionate burden from the disease. In fact, in terms of deaths from COVID-19, is about 45% of COVID-19 deaths were in the black population here in Michigan, whereas we make up only about 13% of the population overall. By around June or July, that had completely reversed, and blacks were actually doing better than whites at that time. Now, with COVID-19 ramping back up again over the particularly in April, most of that gains has been begun to be erased, and blacks are again having. It's not the same as what it was, last year in March, but it's again getting to the point where we are suffering disproportionately. About 19% of the deaths right now are from COVID-19 are in the black population. A lot of that is due to the fact that we're not getting vaccinated at the same rate as other populations. Right now, particularly in Detroit, only about 33% of the population is vaccinated, whereas statewide it's closer to about 55%. And we cannot afford to have the gains that we've made totally erased. That's one of the major news stories of the year, was the fact that the disproportionate impact of COVID-19 have been erased in the black population. And I'm so proud of that fact that we've been able to do that. And to go back to a situation like it was last year in March is just untenable. So please, get your vaccinations. I'm a scientist, I'm a physician, I'm an epidemiologist. I've been involved with these vaccines. I was on the FDA advisory panel for 12 years previously. I know what it takes to approve new medications and new vaccines, and I'm telling you, it's safe. And doesn't make a difference which one of the vaccines. The best vaccine is the one in your arm. So please do what you have to do to go get vaccinated. I understand obviously that there's real hesitancy, particularly in the African American population. But as I said, it really is safe. I know the scientists at the NIH who have been involved. One of them is actually an African American woman, one of the lead scientists in the vaccine development. So you can feel comfortable that there's been good representation of African Americans, both in the development of the vaccine as well as the approval of the vaccine. Let me talk a little bit about prostate cancer. Other than skin cancer, prostate cancer is the most common cancer in American men, and it's particularly prominent in African American men. American Cancer Society estimates for prostate cancer in the United States for 2021 that there's about 249,000 new cases of prostate cancer every year, and about over 34,000 deaths result from prostate cancer. Amazingly, about 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. So it's not something that's trivial, particularly in African American men. About 6 cases in 10 are diagnosed in men who are 65 or older. It's pretty rare if you're under 40 years old, but if you're older, you have a very high chance of being diagnosed with prostate cancer. So certainly yearly screenings, I think, are very important. There was a time, probably about 10 years ago or so, when there was a little bit of controversy about the value of screening for prostate cancer. And the reason for that was that there's a lot of prostate cancer that does not go on to cause major problems. On autopsy, we see that a lot of people who didn't even know they had prostate cancer, had prostate cancer, and it didn't affect their life. And so a lot of people is thinking that you really don't need to be screened for it. But the problem is, I do know a lot of men who did not get screened for prostate cancer, and when they finally went into the doctor, it was too late. The cancer had metastasized, and once it does that, it's very difficult to treat it, and so it's just not worth it. It's a simple test. It's called the PSA. It can tell you if it's elevated, the chances of having prostate cancer are very high, and it's very, very simple. And so if you're older, you should definitely get it. And even if you're younger, if you have risk factors, the more risk factors you have, the younger ages should be also checked. And by risk factors, the main one is if you have others in your family, your father, older brother, just whatever, who've been diagnosed with prostate cancer, then the chances are much higher for you. And so you should probably get checked even with your 45 or even as young as 40, be checked with the PSA test. But certainly anyone over age 50 should start getting routine checks for prostate cancer. I'm talking, of course, about men. Okay, cardiovascular health. Cardiovascular health is serious. It's the #1 killer for all Americans, and stroke is also a leading cause of death. And as frightening as those statistics are, the risk of getting those diseases are even higher for African Americans. In 2018, African Americans were 30% more likely to die from heart disease than non-Hispanic whites. And although African Americans are 40% more likely to have high blood pressure, they are less likely than whites to have their blood pressure under control. There are several risk factors for heart disease. I mentioned one of them before, obesity. High cholesterol is another one. Hypertension, diabetes, and smoking are the common risk factors. The best prevention, though, for heart disease is something we talked about from the beginning, is exercise and a healthy diet. So again, these are all lifestyle kind changes that you should try to incorporate into your life. And some people may require some medication also, but many people, if through good diet and through a lot of exercise, can lead a healthy life and not succumb to cardiovascular disease. So, let me just end there. I want to thank Lazet for inviting me to speak to you today. Again, I wish I could be there. This is a topic that I do care a lot about. Please continue to try to lead a healthy lifestyle. And if you haven't been vaccinated yet, please go get vaccinated. If there's one thing that this pandemic has taught us, it's the importance of taking care of ourselves. So do that, please. Thank you very much. It's been great being with you, albeit virtually. Thank you.
It is my distinct pleasure to give you a little background on the Life Center and how it was established. The Working Out with Lazet Foundation was established in 2010 with the goal of Michigan becoming one of the healthiest states in the nation in the next 10 years. Therefore, Lazet has established 3 programs that are achieving incredible healthy results in our community. Get Fit for Home, Get Fit for Life. The Healthy Church Tour, both are 6-week exercise, health, and wellness education programs. And this event, the Exercise Health and Wellness Education Paartay. Raise the roof, y'all. That's old school. In 2010, Michigan was ranked number 2 in obesity in the United States. Today, Michigan is consistently ranked among the top 10 to 15 most obese states in the United States. So our work is still before us. But the good news is that God made us in a way that our bodies are always ready to heal when we do the right thing. Studies prove that 9 out of 11 diseases are preventable with simply working out and eating healthfully. So we are happy to have you as a part of the Exercise Health and Wellness Education Paartay. So please feel free to join one of our programs and tell all of your family and friends, and please partner with the Working Out with Lazet Foundation. As we work diligently to combat obesity and disease which is plaguing our nation, we want all of our family and friends to live a long, healthy, and prosperous life. I am a living testimony. I have to share this. The Working Out with Lazet saved my life. I lost 54 pounds in 9 months. I'm living testimony that exercise and eating healthy work. It's been 2 years, and I have to wait. So God is good, and you can do it. I did it, you can also. So with that being said, up next we have Carol Gist. She's in a security place because of internet issues. It's a great workout. Zoom with y'all, so get ready, lace up those shoes, right? Do what you need to do and get ready. Work from Zoom,
And happy Saturday. My name is Carol Gist. I am so excited to be a part of the Exercise Health and Wellness Education Party. And I just thank you, Lazet, my friend, for asking me to be a part of it. I am so honored that you would want to include me in your festivities. So I'm going to do Strong by Zumba today, a very abbreviated version of it. It's normally 1 hour or 30 minutes, and it is a tempo-driven HIIT type of workout. And HIIT means we're like high-intensity tempo training. So the exercises and the moves are set to the beat, and we're going to have some fun. We're going to get started. We're going to be fit, have fun at our little fitness party for this wonderful event. And I'm so grateful that I can come and give you a little bit of Strong by Zumba. Let's get my music going. And all right, friends, we're going to get started with jab, block, jab, cross. Sorry. Woo. Let's block, jab, cross. Block, jab, cross. Block, jab, cross. Circle, jab, cross. Circle, jab, cross. Circle, jab, cross. Block, jab, cross. Other side. Block, jab, cross. Other side. Circles. One more. Take it into a chest press. Hip rotation. One more like this. 8 together. Squat and chest press in front. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw your legs. Going to your right. 3, 2, 1. Go. Knee. 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 Break my knee. Or step together, step. Knee. Let's open up. Crescent. We got 4 more of these. Taking it to a small. Here we go. Up, squeeze, press down. Up. We're gonna go. Good lunge. Lunge. 4 more like that. Time to go to the other side. Switch. More. Last one. Ready to stretch. Rotate at the waist. Open up your spine. Woo. Rib cage. Other way. Woo. Matrix style. Rib cage. Open close. Last time. And get high. Ready? 2, 3, 4. Other side. 4, 3, 2. Alternate. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jog and flex. Run. Short range of motion. Move those feet fast as you can. Back to the right. Very much. Take that to our front there. Rotate that hip. Look it up. 2 more. Cross there. Uppercuts right here. Hold it steady. Push. Push. We're going to double it up right here. 1, 2. 1, 2. Last one. Moving on to the next song. We're still in a warm up. Strong normally has 4 quadrants. We're really like to 1.5. Deep, right knee, smart. Return it to a wide stance. Take it to a straight leg. Flex at the ankle. Feel the stretch in that hamstring. Shuffle. Elbow strike. Take up, bring back, rotate over, step together. Lunge, rotate over. On that squat. 1 more. Switching to the other side. 3 more, like that. Leg hand out the plank. Hold it. Now push your hips back, bend your knees. Down dog. Walk it up. Knee march, march. Knees, march, march, march. Knees. 3, 4. Elbow to knee, here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now shuffle this way. Elbow right. Pick it up. Right left, then on. Here with that squat. 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 1, 3, 2, and 1. Back to that plank position. Hold your belly tight. Push your knees back. Bring it up to down dog. elbows. Walk it up. Roll up. Knee march, march. Elbow it in. Shuffle. Go. Elbows back. Take it out. Awesome. Going right into quadrant one. That was in the warm up. We're going to squat, lunge with the opposite leg, 3 times, 2 jacks. Here we go. 2 jacks. Watch my hands. Squat, lunge, squat, lunge, squat. 2 jacks. Elbow strike right here. Rotate for 8, 4 more. Now repeat right here. And elbow to hand, switch. Squat in, lunge, squat, lunge, squat, lunge. 2 jacks, tap, in, out, go, squat, lunge. 2 jacks, elbow strike. Rotate up that waist and that hip. Now repeat right here. Bring the elbow up. Pause. One more. Switch side. 4, 3. Put on agility ladder. Out and in. Pretend there's a ladder. In and out your feet. How fast can you go? Travel stick. Your feet are the drumsticks on the drum. And squat at a double strike. Lunge. 2 jacks, let's wrap it out. Other side. 2 jacks. Elbow strike. See the pattern? You got it. Come on. 1 more like this. Now repeat it right here. 4, 3, 2. Switch sides. 4, 3, 2. Squat again. Hand lunge. Squat. 1 more. 2 jacks. Other side. Elbow strike. Come up. Squat lunge. 2 jacks. Elbow strike right here. Almost done with this. We're going to repeat the form right here. Switch sides. 4, 3, 2. Ready to do that agility laps again? In and out. How long can you go? Travel to me. Travel back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, march. All right, skipping a song, so we can keep it in that 20 minutes. We're going to do a transverse lunge. Step to the back, go back forward. Ready? Join me. Sit back, my legs stay straight. Push on that back leg. So we have high knees or marches. You do what you can do. Right leg, left knee. You ready? Knee, runner's lunge. Knee, runner's lunge. 4, 3, 2, 1. I need a high knee double. Up, 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 up. Hold it, hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Single. High knee. Or march it back. Close arms. Are you ready? Yeah. Out, up, stand, or down. Out, up. Back. Here's an option. Are you ready? Honey, go. Single, marching, on my knees. Now here we go. Hands down, one leg. Up, now love shoulder up. Feet to the other side. Down, opposite leg. Up. Or cross it. Both legs. Single legger, both legs, your choice. Watch out. Almost there. This is active recovery. Get ready to go back into those double high knees. Double full march. 3, 2, here we go. Single. Arch it. Pump, pump. Opposite side. Knee, runner's lunge. Here we go. Now, how do you like? Just drive that knee up. High knee. Switch. Switch. Double. 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 Single. You got it. Come on, it's a party. Are you having fun yet? Back to those single legs. Down. Out. Up. We're going to check it out to the plank. Out, in, in. Four more. From here. Here. You don't want to get down on the floor. Ready for those high knees? Go. Other side. One more. Single. Come on. Pump those arms. Don't hurt your feet. Arching it out. This is talking time. Forward, grab it. Back, chop, walk. Here we go. Ready? Again. Hear that sound? Slice that watermelon. Right here. Knee, back, front, back. Knee, back, front, back. Going to the right, 4 down. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Get up to the left. To the right, 4, 3, 2. Get up to the left. For 8. 8 battle slams. Big arms. Get up, look in your left. One more. We got the left leg. Go. Come back. Here, back, front. Back, front. Back, front, back. Jump. Work it, work it. Work it, work it. To the left. 4. Get it up. 8. 4. for 8. Okay, now we're flying 4. Get a plate. Ready? The flag. Grab that sword. Chop it. Grab your sword. Chop that water. How do you like? Last one. Last knee. Go. Knee. Last one. Legs. Almost done. You can make it. 1, 3, 2, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 8, 7, 6. Hey, slam. Got the right side good. Finish strong. Almost done. Add the hip clicks. Option if you like. Come on. Right leg. Back, front, back. Woo! You got it. Are we partying yet? 2 more. 1 more. To the right. 4. Left for 8. 4. Giddy up for 8. Slam. Slam. Down row. Slam it. Hip this. Bobby Lee. You know what I'm saying. We're cooling it down. Watch it out. Okay, what is the last cool down song I'm going to play? Sorry. There we go. So, we would have had 40 more minutes in a standard class. But I just gave you a little taste of strong. We don't need any weights. We are our own weight. It's called body weight in high intensity tempo training. We work out to the beat. Every beat counts. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Exhale, down. One more time. Reach right, left. 3, 2, 1. Arch it. Pull it down and back. Open. Reach down those toes. Roll it up. Roll the shoulders. One more time. Inhale up. Because I know you have more to come. Thank you. Yeah, give yourself a hand clap or a pat on the back. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your exercise, health and wellness education party. Thank you, Lazet. I love you. You guys have an awesome rest of your day. I'm coming to you live from Indiana. It's called Muncie, Indiana. So excuse my not normal surroundings, but I had to find a place where I could come to you and give you a workout where you can see me and hear me. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.